talking about a specific feature called Navigator. To access Navigator, just come down here and click this button, which is sitting right next to the Hacker search bar. So we just click that. And this pops up, this custom drawn file browser / code map / search history / kind of Swiss Army knife for getting stuff done real quick when you're developing add-ons or scripting in Blender. So I wanted a system that allowed me to work as fast as possible. So it was very much on my mind that I wanted to remove as many little animations, the kind of stuff like operating systems like to do when you click on a folder and it like takes a second to enlarge. And I wanted to move as much of that as possible, remove as many clicks as possible. So for instance, you can open up these different tabs simply by moving your mouse up and down. All right, so what are all these tabs? So at the top here, we have recent. This displays recently opened files. Right now it's completely empty because I just installed this add-on. The next tab we have is the Blender tab. So this goes straight to Blender's core files that it uses when it starts up and basically creates the veneer, the surface level UI stuff, which is written in Python in Blender. So if we click scripts here, we have immediate access to all of the add-ons which come bundled with Blender. So this is really great for anything you're curious about how some add-on works or some script file. And then also in the same location is the startup folder, which gives you access to Blender's default app templates. So really good for learning about that kind of stuff and making your own app templates. All of Blender's Python operators you can access. Open up these as quickly as you want, as well as Blender's user interface, things like its tools, display, shelves, menus, etc. This is really good for accessing code, learning about how this stuff works, and learning how to overwrite things for your own add-ons. Okay, below the Blender tab, we have the Add-ons tab. And the Add-ons tab will always point to the user installed add-on. So basically any add-on you've ever installed into Blender, into that version, will show up here along with the add-ons that you create via the Hacker add-on creation menu. This tab is very simple. It differs a little bit from the Blender tab in that it's not specifically a file browsing thing. It's kind of a get immediate access to the add-on thing. So when we want to open up an add-on, we just click on the add-on. And as soon as we do, you'll notice that the tab beneath this one, which was just grayed out and called project, now is populated with the contents of that add-on. So I actually opened up Hacker here, so we're getting very meta now because this is the actual add-on which is allowing us to view itself, which is quite strange. But anyway, here we can access all of the core files of the add-on and do whatever we want. So a really important, awesome feature about this is that we could have literally any file open from within this add-on, and Hacker always knows if a file belongs to an add-on and will always display that add-on right here, so you can select some other of its contents. So for example, down here in the text tabs, which have now gotten collapsed because we opened up so much stuff, but I could pull this open and we could see them a little bit better. So for instance, I opened up this console.py file somewhere in the Blender operators, I guess, which you can see up here. Which, by the way, if you want to access the default file name in Hacker Workspace, you can click this button. But anyway, this is not part of any particular add-on within the user add-ons. So when we click back here, notice that this project file is empty. But if I were to click on the Hacker init file, which you may notice that Hacker is actually added to this tab, reason being that it's quite common in Python modules. You'll have a lot of files will be named this __init__.py. And so rather than just having if you have a bunch of different add-ons or add-ons in various modules open, rather than just having a lot of tabs that said init, Hacker was programmed to also include the parent directory name in the tab. So it makes it much easier if you've got multiple add-ons open. But anyway, back to what I was talking about before. If we're clicked on, say, a random text file or whatever, nothing will show up here. However, if Hacker detects that some file is part of an add-on, it will always show that add-on in the projects tab and then allow you to continue selecting stuff from that. So I'll open up some more files from the Hacker add-on, and notice that whenever I click to a file, which we can see is part of Hacker up here in the abbreviated, kind of recessed file name there, this will always direct us to the active add-on, or the add-on that these files belong to, which makes it really easy to go back and forth when, say, you're working with another add-on. Let's go over what some of these icons do. So up here in the Recent Files tab, which you can see is now populated with files that we could click on and open up. So right here, we've got this button. If you want to delete your recent history, we can click this. Delete all recently opened files, okay, and that's cleared out. And then back on the Blender tab, wherever you see this little 4 squares, kind of looks like a little window tab, but you know, maybe not so specific. This allows you to open whatever folder that you're hovered over in your operating system's native file browser. So if we just wanted to get quick access to this in Windows, we just click here, and this opens up that folder so we can do things like delete files, move them around, copy, whatever. Whereas that kind of activity, unless you're directly working within a user add-on, is not made accessible via this menu, because I don't want someone accidentally, you know, destroying their version of Blender or something. Unless they're really bent on it, then they can just open it up in their own personal file browser and do it there. Here you'll notice there's the box plus the plus sign. What the plus sign will do is it brings up an add menu to either add a new folder, a new pie file, or a new blank blend file. So if we press this, we'll get a little menu that pops up, and we could give something a name like Megatron, whatever, and we could create either a new blank py file, or we can create a pie file from a template, which these are customizable templates which you can create and edit yourself. Hacker has a text substitution feature, so you can do things like have your add-on name in all caps, your add-on name in all lowercase and underscores, for instance, like where the way you would normally use in like a BLID name, stuff like that, and have those things automatically replaced with a custom template file, which is really awesome. So for instance, we could, I guess, I don't remember which folder we were about to make that in, but let's say we were going to make a new thing in our code folder, and it was going to be a bunch of new operators that were related to some specific thing. It was related to Megatron, Megatron operators. We could then select a template, ops, advanced template, press OK, and notice as soon as we do that, we get this megatron.py. Notice that there are multiple locations where the name of the add-on has been substituted, which makes it a really awesome system for quickly hammering things out, but we'll get more into all the templates and how that stuff works in a later video. If we come back over to the Navigator, here you can see the file has been added. We could add, say, another folder in here. Just call this best, and click on folder, click OK. And that would quickly generate us a, where did I put that? New folder, which is empty, doesn't have anything in it. We could add a new blank blend file. So adding blend files is kind of like a more advanced move for more advanced add-ons where you may have different libraries of different Blender things. But this makes it really easy to create a blank, like small as possible, everything gutted from it as possible blend file to put in your script if you want to be able to access content from storing content in a library of a file or something. My new blend, which will look weird because it'll be my new blend.blend. There it is. The last two tabs I think I'm going to go ahead and save for another video because this one's already getting pretty long. And this tab here is the file map tab, which does a lot of really awesome things. Definitely deserves its own love. So we're going to save that for another video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this and are at least a little bit interested in Hacker thus far. So take care, and I'll see you next time.